Yo, what's up YouTube? Today in this video I'm gonna try something different from what I usually do and make a storytime video about my personal experience with immigration as the son of immigrant parents in a so-called foreign country, even though I was born here, in the wonderful country called Ireland. Some of my horrendous Overwatch gameplay will be shown alongside my yapping for all the brain-rotted individuals out there. Let's get it. So the story starts with me working a part-time shift in a takeaway, which for context is an Indian takeaway, with every single worker there being from India, with the sole exception of one or two part-time delivery drivers. The way I ended up getting a job in this place was through my dad, who works there. As you can see in the country of Ireland, nepotism at its finest. It was a normal everyday kind of business, so my expectations for the day was kind of low, and I was expecting to play a bit of Clash Royale. Yeah, I know that's how old the story is, when Clash Royale was at its prime. After I was done serving the customer, as he was walking out of the building, while I was saying the usual script of bye, have a good day, blah blah blah, two women and two men stormed into the building, nearly knocking the poor bloke's food out of his hand. I found the four of them kinda rude obviously, but I stood on the regular script of welcome to insert company name, how can I help you? The woman, who we will call Sergeant Hillary for this video, who I presumed was in charge of the little brigade, stuck her hand over the counter with a Garda badge, right into my face by the way, with zero warning, saying we are with the immigration department and would like to ask some questions. And I said, so are you guys with the health and sanitation department? I don't know to this day why I asked them that when they clearly said, we are Trump's bitches. Well, that's what I heard when recalling it through my ears anyways. And before continuing on in the story, just picture this. A regular 17-year-old boy who was only here for a bit of pocket money was bombarded by four adults completely out of nowhere. No warning, no easing the blow, just straight bombardment. Anyways, before I was able to process anything, the second woman, who we will call for this video Officer Sharon Osborne, came through the little trapdoor attached to the desk. 3 seconds later, she came into the kitchen, which is definitely violating several health and safety rules, and just started searching the kitchen. To this day, I still didn't know what she was searching for. Maybe she wanted a glass of mango lassi or something. I don't think I said this, but I was working in an Indian takeaway. Well, I still am while writing the script, but there'd be all sorts of delicious options in the back, so who knows? At that moment, I have no idea why, but I was actually full on shitting myself there. Even though, looking back, I had no reason to be scared since I'm a citizen and could just show them my passport and say, suck my dick. I then asked my uncle, or in professional terms, the head chef, Uncle, what do I do? I'm so scared. Then he goes, don't worry, just continue working like normal. Go help the suppliers with unloading. By the way, we had suppliers coming in with stuff like chicken, flowers, egg, etc. So basically, more immigrants for the immigration brigade. Just a lucky day, I guess. When my uncle told me to continue working, I started to walk out casually towards the exit of the takeaway to the fresh outside towards the supplier van. I was a solid 5 steps away from the building before I see one of the men that was with that little brigade practically bolting down the street towards me. For this video, we'll call him Officer Usain Bolt for his unwavering speed. I turned around and I basically said, is it alright if I just keep working? Then he said, no, I need you back in the building now. Bro was basically demanding me to go back into the building very impolitely, even though I'm legally free to walk wherever I want, but that's a little overdramatic. I walked back into the building to see everyone that was working, the suppliers, the chefs, my uncle, all cornered into one side of the building as if we were cattle or something. I know it seems like a harmless tactic, but if you really think about it, we were just people working, passing the time, and now we are being cornered by 4 white people into one side of our building like cattle. Emphasis on cattle. Maybe that's not what they intended, but it is still humiliating. Just try to picture this. 4 white people with false confidence cornering us while around 6 or 8 brown people in one corner, nervous as fuck. I'll let you viewers imagine that for a second. While everyone was getting checked out, the 4th guy with the little brigade, who we will call Officer Piers Morgan. So for context, not all of them were Gardaí, or for the Americans, police officers. 2 of them were Gardaí and 2 of them were in the immigration department directly. So Officer Piers Morgan came up to me and said, do you have any ID, IGBN card, some other card, this card? He didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking, since I had no idea what he was talking about. Most likely some paperwork immigrant workers would have while working abroad. I straight up told him I had no paperwork, no nothing, which is the truth. Then he said, well, do you have anything? A passport? His attitude was low-key brash, which is important for what's gonna happen next. Then I said I have a picture of my passport. I showed him it. He looks at the phone and then up at me and then down to the phone again. He smiles and says, oh, you're a citizen. Yeah, you can do what you want. Sorry for bothering you. And I was like, hold up a minute. The fuck you mean, oh, you're a citizen? I should have slapped this guy right here and then. I then walked back towards the desk with newfound confidence, and Sergeant Hillary calls to me and says, sorry, can I see some paperwork? Before I could get a word out, Officer Piers Morgan says to her, leave him alone, he is a citizen. She does then leave me alone. Low-key, when he said that, I felt several different emotions. I felt happy, powerful, but also sad and angry. This is going to be a little bit of a tangent, but how is it that I get left alone by these lots simply because I was born here, while the other workers were getting treated badly, even though they work harder than majority of citizens nowadays? I'm talking to all the dole merchants out there here, and they are basically no different from me, with the difference being they are more skilled than me, they are more experienced than me, they are more patient than me. I could go on and on, but I want to make an entertaining video here. Back to the story. I continue working. We keep getting orders, so we had to put several delays on them. That's another thing else, guys, came in while we were still in business. So not only is it ruining the reputation of the place, it's also ruining customer service as well. But that's low-key not important right now. I continue working like normal, and I start eavesdropping a little bit. When the little brigade start questioning the suppliers, the one that was in charge was the one being talked to, and they asked him, can we see some paperwork? And this guy responded with, our boss mother has passed away. You genuinely cannot make this up, because the fuck you mean your mum's boss passed away? Like, rest in peace, but that's not the correct answer. One of them responds, I'm sorry about your boss, but what does that have to do with my question? I low-key kind of chuckled a little right there. I've never seen this guy while working this, so it was like a new supplier company, I'm presuming. So your man Sergeant Hillary has his paperwork, and what she says next is actually crazy. She says your papers are expired for 4 years. Yeah, bro, best of luck. Just don't drop the soap. She continues on saying, I could have you arrested for this. And as Loki giving a mother lecturing her son type of vibes, the man just basically kept apologizing, saying he'll get it done, blah blah blah. And eventually Sergeant Hillary ended up saying, while handing him back his papers, you have 1 month to extend the duration of your papers, and we will check when you are due. Which Loki, now looking back, fair play to her. Your man then kept saying thank you, all that type of shit, and they ended up continuing their work and checking everyone else. Low-key, the vibes were slowly improving, and at that moment it seemed like less hostile, you get what I mean? I ended up releasing my inner Harvey Specter and started asking them for their name and badge numbers, thinking I was the main character or something. They said yeah, no problem. The man's name was Officer Usain Bolt, and the badge number was 6767, and the woman's name was Sergeant Hillary, and her badge number was 420. You genuinely thought I was about to leak the hell, man. And to be honest with you, it started to calm down. Me and Officer Usain Bolt started to crack jokes, so low-key, it wasn't too bad. We just started talking, and me just asking them like what did they do and all that. Turns out it wasn't their first time in this building, since my uncle had dealt with them 1 year prior. In all honesty and my reflection of the whole situation, it wasn't that bad of a scenario, and I can understand why there is an immigration department to some extent. Keyword being some extent. At the end of the day, they were just doing the jobs, and one thing I can say that if I were to complain were that they should have been kinder and nicer at the very start so the environment wouldn't be so hostile. And low-key, everyone would have been more cooperative, I guess. I low-key really don't know though. I'm just grateful that it wasn't a bad experience, you get me? Like I didn't get shot up or anything. And that's basically my personal experience with immigration story. The guy that had an expired visa to the date of this recording, I have no idea what he is doing now, or is he even in the country? He's either here or he got deported. It's been a couple months since that event. Let me know in the comments if you guys like these type of videos. Please check out my TikTok, my Twitch and Discord and all my other socials. They will be in the description down below. And anyways, bye bye.